Hello, everyone. I'm Soraya Keating, and welcome to Narrative Therapy to help you manage changes and transitions. In this short video, we'll be briefly looking at 4 tools that you can use from narrative therapy to help you with whatever change or transition you're going through in your life. And we'll do that partly by reflecting on past transitions. So let's dive in. Tool number 1. Tool number 1 involves looking at strengths and personal triumphs that you have brought to past transitions and challenges in your life. So I invite you right now to think about some change that you've been through, maybe a job change or a personal change like a divorce or the birth of a child or the death of a loved one. And what's a personal strength or a quality you brought to that change, such as courage, compassion, love, something else. So I invite you to write down this strength that you brought. So in narrative therapy, we're focusing on strengths, focusing on empowering narratives. So right now, just identify that one strength and see how that feels to remember that. Number 2, narrative therapy also externalizes any problem we may experience. And what does that mean to externalize a problem? Well, let's say you feel anxious about a change you're going through. Instead of using the language, I feel anxious, oh, there goes my kitty cat trying to get into the video. What narrative therapy does is puts anxiety outside of you or whatever is the challenging inner state and says, what is the impact anxiety is having on you? And furthermore, you become the expert in anxiety. So what is the difficult thing that you're going through with a transition, whether it's anxiety, depression, fear, something else? Then I ask you, as the expert on, let's say it's anxiety, tell us, as an expert, how do you manage anxiety when it arises? How do you get through? What do you suggest for other people based on your past experience? So becoming the expert and externalizing the problem. Tool number 3 is something called unique outcomes, looking for unique outcomes when a problem or what you imagine might be a problem was actually not a problem. So I would ask you, can you think of a time in your life that you went through something challenging and anxiety was not a problem? When in your life was there a unique outcome? All right, here's my kitty. I guess Kitty wants to be here. So think about a unique outcome. Wow, I remember 5 years ago, I had to move 3 different times, for example. And actually I handled it. There was a unique outcome. I wasn't anxious, I was excited about moving, or perhaps I handled the anxiety well. So getting our perspective, our eyes to look at unique outcomes that were successful. Final tool is empowering narratives. A very basic concept of narrative therapy is to invite in narratives, stories about our life that empower us. So if you were to write a story about the change you were going through, what's the story that you would tell? Using the language perhaps of once upon a time. You can write about yourself in the third person. Like I might say, once upon a time, Soraya had to go through this really hard change in her life. And this is what happened. And this is how she got through it. And this is how she grew from it. So what's the story you would write about yourself? And the title, what title would you give that story? What's your empowering narrative? I hope this short video was helpful to you, and may you enjoy coming up with the most empowering stories possible. Have a great day.